Hello everyone, today I finished object video. I'm editing something unusual. You know what that is. They're little mittens. And they're little freckled mittens. Okay, so there are a few things that happened in my life that motivated me to try to knit little mittens, and I was hoping that I'm still hoping that it will be a size for a 1-year-old. However, I haven't done my research yet, so what I wanted to do next, I'm going to measure these mittens and say how wide they are, and I'm trying to see what the width of a newborn is, a child is, and so on and so on. I haven't done it, to be honest. I was looking through the patterns from perspective how they look, and most of the patterns are like Freckled Mittens patterns. So basically they're very straight and they're very pointy, and as much as I like it, it wasn't something that I wanted to knit or gift to someone that I have in mind. Therefore, I come up with this shape, and the way also that Freckled Mittens are knitted, they are knitted from the ribbing going up and you bind off. However, you know, I'm a fan and I'm knitting socks over 100 finished object on this channel, so if you don't know what to do and you want to watch 100 socks, just go to my playlist socks and check it out. Obviously not all of them, but the majority of them in the last maybe 2 years I'm knitting, or maybe more, I'm knitting toe up, and that's why I knitted these also that way, because I am a fan of tubular bind off, and I knew that with so little stitches left it will look just amazing. It is not a slip stitch method over here. I use the color work. So basically slip stitch method is that you use one strand and you knit around with that strand, you slip stitches to create a color. With the contrast, with the color work, you hold 2 strands together either in one hand or both hands, and you knitting it and kind of leaving the floats instead of slipping the stitches, if that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining right, but this is a color work. Just I thought it would be easier from perspective of my shaping. So how I did that, because sometimes you ask how I design patterns. I'm not sure if I'm going to publish it in the future, but maybe I will. It's just like I said, I want to have more sizes available, and so on, so on. So I'm not sure if there are any of you kind of more experienced with the babies, and let me know how will that fit? Anyway, yes, some of you are asking me how I designed. So I grab a yarn and needle and a notebook that I can kind of place things over that, if that makes sense, with loads of little squares, and I'm trying to fill in the gaps, and this is what I did. I normally first do a chart or create a chart so I can also visually see what's going on, and then when I'm writing down on the paper, I'm trying to take what I have from my chart to my written instructions, and sometimes I make mistakes from that perspective, but I have loads of amazing knitters who kind of double check, have I done it this way, and knowing that I start from the chart and then just writing written instructions, that it's not that I followed written instructions, they know what to be aware of. So anyway, this is such a fun knit. To knit these, I weighed both of them. It took me 10 grams overall, obviously. These I knitted, washed, so left them in the kind of sink to chill out for 15 minutes, and then I just squeezed the excess of water in a towel and put them flat. And as you can see, it looks way better. Hopefully on the screen now, close a look, check it out. Then these I haven't washed them yet, so I'm not sure can you see the difference, but in real life you can. They're kind of bloomed, stretch a little bit more. They didn't, but for instance, I grabbed these with little balls like that. I haven't actually weighed exactly how much grams I use for each, so therefore I would say if you have 10 grams of each color, you know, you could knit these. However, obviously I will knit more. Approximately it takes 4 hours to knit a pair, and yeah, I don't know what else I should do. So I left it with the ribbing over here, and yeah, you may not see these anymore because I think I'm going to send them to proper to proper practice wearing those to see how they work. And I know another person who makes dolls, and maybe I will give that to her so she can kind of put them on a certain age, and we shall see how it goes from there. But I'm quite excited about it, especially as you are aware, I love to knit from the leftovers, from little bits that are left behind, and it's so amazing. If this shapes work, I will be thrilled, because using little bits and also someone is using them, like, and they're so cute. I use fingering weight yarn. Obviously, the size of the mittens you can moderate from perspective of taking a bigger needles or smaller needles, or taking a thicker or thinner yarn. As I have noticed, in case someone has a color work on the mitten and everything has to be the same way, the written instructions are only say to take a bigger needles or smaller needles to make mittens smaller or bigger. I think the same thing is with the socks sometimes, if there are if they have color work on them. But because this is such a simple one, I will be making sizes, not only just one, and yeah, we shall see how that goes. Needles I use US size 1, 2.25mm needles. I haven't measured them, as I said. The gauge looks tiny, so I presume. So the width of my mitten is 3 inches, which is 7.5 centimeters, I would say. And now the palm, 2.5 inch in centimeters, probably 6 centimeters. The ribbing for me is just 1 inch, and 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters. So that's these are my measurements for this pair. And you're probably asking for a gauge. I can give you with the 1 inch. I'm getting 8 stitches per 1 inch, so 32 stitches per 4 inches, 10 centimeters. So, well, it took me for a while to knit them, to be honest, to eventually make the shaping the way I want it to look. And but once kinda I figured it out, then it was just a pleasure to knit. And I'm thinking in the future I will be knitting more, because it's also nice to watch to see color combinations. And yeah, for these ones I use Drops Flora, so it has wool alpaca content. Oh, I think so, and they mix, isn't it? It's not just 100%. This blue one, I know I used it for some project. I don't remember what that was. Hard to say. But we have stellina in it, definitely, and it's beautiful. Over here I have a leftovers that I got from a friend, and this came, I'm not sure what exactly it is, but it was a gradient, so it goes from the very black to the really nice blue. And oh, I don't remember, but I just found this and I thought it would work beautifully with this yarn. And this is left over from, on the screen, a sweater that I knitted. So if you want to listen more about the sweater and the yarn, I would say go check it out. I will put a link down below. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think about those little mittens. And if you like them, let me know for who would you want to knit them for. Tell me the age, and maybe even if you have someone next to you, you can give me the measurements of their hands, so I may gather my own statistics in regards how big hands are at certain age. But probably what I'll do, I'll just write down the width of the mitten, and just create bigger sizes from that, and then you will check what hand size someone has to knit a proper size for them. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you missed something, no worries, I'm planning to knit more, so probably more finished objects soon in regards to little mittens. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. Bye.